On this week's episode of the Heating Up podcast, we are finally over with the Premier League. NBA is down to the Eastern and Western Conference Finals, and then we got to touch on a little NFL schedule release, and maybe we'll talk a little PGA Championship, and then we got a few more basketball, hockey bets in us. We're going to keep winning you some money on Heat Check. So here we go.
Hello, friends. I'm Jim Nance, and I'll welcome you to a tradition unlike any other.
He's heating up.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!
He's on fire. Cristiano Ronaldo. Sensational. Boom shakalaka.
You believe in miracles? Yes!
There it goes. See ya.
He's heating up.
Trying to get open, fires away.
Bang! It's over. The Bulls win at the buzzer.
Welcome to episode 53 of the Heating Up podcast. As always, I'm Sasha here with my wonderful co-hosts Sarah and Mike, and the Knicks are dead. This is just a facade right here for you guys. I'm just happy to see you. I'm really looking for anything to grab onto because it's just been sadness over here in the sporting world for me.
You're so brave for showing up today.
I appreciate it. That makes me feel heard. It makes me feel seen. But we will get to that a little bit later. I feel like I need to distract myself a little bit. So, guys, your time is here. Premier League update. At long last, the season is over.
Is it over? It's over?
It's over. She's done.
And this week we're going to be coming back, and it's going to be Sasha's going to be putting in the outline Premier League updates, and then it's going to be some spin-off season here.
But the season ended with a bang. It was all good. We ended on a win, 3-0. It was good. We finished fifth overall. We locked in that we are going to play some European football next year in the Europa League. So not the top four, but at least we did that. So basically, we're 3 positions higher than we finished last year. We had scored more goals. We conceded less goals. So all signs are pointing in a positive direction, even though we kind of ended it on a little bit of a negative trajectory because we basically just ran into all of the best teams at the end of the year. But we were super injured, and it's basically give Ange the keys to the castle, let him do whatever he needs to do. And Arsenal did not win the league. So I think everybody was happy about that. And then other Premier League news that nobody cares about but me, and then hopefully some of the listeners. We're going to start turning you guys. Mauricio Pochettino, coached Chelsea. Everybody was getting excited because he won like the last 12 games of the season, and one of the biggest clubs in the world. They just fired him out of nowhere. One of those mutual splitting ups. And then another big coach, Jurgen Klopp for Liverpool. He retired. Everybody knew that was coming though. So lots of changes, lots of shakeups at the top. The top few clubs in England. Going to be exciting, and they already said it really is. They have 90 days off. It's 90 days until the start of the next season. And they have like the European Championship. It's like everybody will go back and like play with their national teams for the Euros. So it's like basically they have like 2 weeks off. They play a month in the Euros. They have another like few weeks off, and then it's just like back to training with the season. So it's like I think these guys just don't stop playing.
Sasha went from end of the season to 2 weeks off.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's the end of the season. It's just like they basically just start right up. And honestly, I think we're giving these NFL guys too much time off. I think that was kind of my point where I'm going with this. Is like, why are these guys getting 6-7 months off? These soccer players literally have like 3 weeks. They didn't like our season ended. Tottenham season ended, and they drove them from the field to the airport, and they're flying them, and they're playing tomorrow. They're playing a friendly match against a team like another like English team. They're playing against Newcastle in Australia. It's basically just like an exhibition thing. So it's like it just doesn't
Sarah,
stop.
Did you hear that?
I did hear that the season's not over.
So Sasha just went from 90 days to 2 weeks to tomorrow.
Yeah. That's not a game I'll care about. I'm not going to bring it. I'm not going to bring it to you guys. I'll watch it at work while I pretend to do stuff. But we got nothing to worry about.
You can watch it right now. They're probably playing right now.
First stop. But we got to start thinking. This is what people are doing overseas. Why? Josh Allen doesn't need 7 months off. What? He's got to go date Haley Steinfeld for 7 months? Who fucking cares? Get him back on the field. We need 48-game season.
Preach.
No argument here. He's getting He's getting his handicap down.
But now that that's over, I appreciate you guys bearing with me. It was a very exciting season. I have high hopes for the next one. Other news, NFL schedule that came out. It's always exciting. Lots of, where we all get to go and pick our wins and losses and, be certain that our teams are all going to be somewhere between 12-5 and, 15-2.
Sounds right.
14-3.
Yeah. We're going to let you marinate on that
conservatively.
When we get into the doldrums of the summer, we'll do a full breakdown of where we realistically think our schedules are. But I feel the biggest thing is like these, they're ranking all these. I feel like we got to rank all these NFL schedule release videos because it used to be like a few teams would kind of do them like with the progressive like media departments, but now it's just like whether they're shitty or good, everybody's just putting one out.
I'm not a fan. Like, I feel like I don't know. Like, it's like information overload and it's like unnecessary information. Like, I feel like, I don't know about you guys, but like, I just want the schedule, like a photo of the schedule release for like the home and away. And like, that's it. What time the games are. Maybe a better like system too. Cause I hate how, I don't know how like your respective teams do it, but the way the Cowboys graphic is, it's not like, I wish it somewhere like asterisk or there was like a code, like a key, almost like a map for like Thursday Night Football, like primetime games. Because I hate having to like go and like look up, what day is the 26th of September? You know what I mean?
Agreed.
Like then I have to see, that's like Thursday. So I would like to see that. Like I would like to see some high level like map with a key sort of image schedule rather than all these digital marketing type things.
You're the Cowboys. Every game is primetime.
Not this year. No, I went through, I think there was only like one Thursday. I'd have to go back through. There was less than I thought. And I think that's, NFL rigged, maybe. Who knows? We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
They know what's going to happen this year.
But not to fluff you up, Mike, at all. But I do kind of feel it's like if you're going to do it, like do it funny. Don't just do one of these nonsense, like get 3 of your players in, do like some like bullshit, like uncreative thing. If you're going to do it, do it right. You have the money. Get actors. Get something funny. Hire writers to make it hilarious. Like I in my personal opinion, I think the Ravens and the Bills were the big winners because those ones actually had me like laughing. They were well acted. They were well written out. It was just like they put thought into it. If you're going to make a video, do it right. Don't just like, schedule is going to be released. We have to like throw something together. So it's like the Ravens. I don't know. Did you guys see that one with Stavi and like whatever, taking the direction from Coach Harbaugh and traveling all over, just playing his Ronnie character?
No.
Yeah, it was funny. It was good.
Yeah, well, you got to check it out. Yeah, very, very, very funny. But then the Bills, like, I mean, obviously not everybody has like a personable like possible actor, a guy that has some acting chops like Josh Allen, where they can like throw him in and write a storyline with it, because that one actually did make me laugh as well.
Yeah, Josh Allen out living in the pit. It was perfectly done. You don't need to hire actors when your quarterback's also like an incredible actor. His comedic timing.
He's gonna win an Oscar.
Yeah, so a couple of years ago, people thought I was crazy when I said he was going to be on the cover of Madden. I won't go into the schedule. Do you want to know my next prediction?
I do.
Josh Allen is going to host SNL. It's coming.
I like that. I feel like you can get good odds on get good odds on some of these sites on that if you can.
Is SNL still? It's still on the air, right?
It's still a thing.
Okay, I haven't heard anything from it in like 3 years, but if it's out there, he's going to host it. He's very funny. It was a good video.
I guess that kind of goes along. I feel like if he wins a Super Bowl, they will have him on. I don't know if they will otherwise. So I guess that goes along with your MVP. Josh Allen. Josh Allen will win a Super Bowl. You think MVP, no Super Bowl, they still have him on host SNL?
I think so. I think just in terms of like athletes that can do it. Did Blake Griffin host SNL?
I don't know. That doesn't surprise me.
I picture him being on there for some reason. I can't say I watch SNL, but I feel like I do remember that.
I used to watch it all the time. They just lost like all their cast members this one year, a couple of years ago, and like filled them in with people who weren't funny. And the people who stuck around, I just didn't really like. They had a very funny clip 2 weeks ago about catering trays of penne alla vodka. I got to send you guys this clip. We should also like link it. It's very funny. It's just about how like funerals or weddings or graduations, you'll always have a big tray of penne alla vodka.
Well, it looks like it looks like the last Bill who hosted was O.J. Simpson. So good company.
Nice. Let's go.
John Madden. Yeah, there's some athletes. I'm just looking for other quarterbacks. Joe Montana, Tom Brady.
I think Troy Aikman host.
Getting down there, I don't see it. George Foreman, Deion Sanders, Dwayne Johnson. This is good radio. Derek Jeter, thank God we can stop there. So, Peyton, obviously, LeBron.
Peyton,
Eli,
that's an
both of
all-time. That's an all-time clip. The Peyton's the American way.
Yeah. Oh my God, throwing the balls at the kids and stuff.
Smack 'em
That
up
was
the kid's
hilarious.
Teaching them how to break into cars.
so fucking
good.
funny.
Oh, it's the cops! It's the cops!
So I can see that, especially with he's also dating someone famous. Like he's in the zeitgeist enough. I like that. I like that prediction. Whatever. Giants going to lose a lot of games. We'll go into it later. But Sarah, you always go to a Cowboys game.
Mm-hmm.
What are you going
so
to?
Family group chat was going crazy when this came out because we try and pick an away game at this point, trying to go to all NFL stadiums on here. So I have to roll out. I'm going to read you off where the Cowboys are going, where they're playing this year, their away games. Help me pick where you think I should campaign that we're going. I might eliminate some places we've been, but I'll asterisk that. So they start this season off in Cleveland against the Browns. I feel like that has potential, but I don't know. I kind of like to be home for the first weekend of NFL football so I can watch all the other games. Agree or not agree?
I agree, and it's also it's Cleveland. It's a fun football city. I'm sure it'd be a good time, but I don't think you're really missing out by You can hit Cleveland another time.
Yeah, that's what I figured. There's enough. I don't know. Maybe later in the season when there's some good NBA going on, we could hit up both for the weekend. We'll see. They play the Giants Thursday Night Football. That could be a podcast outing here. I feel like that. I think
that's do that great. Together.
Yeah.
Have you been to MetLife before?
Yes. Mm-hmm. So that would have to be a repeat. So this would be a second one. That can be a podcast.
Yeah, maybe we can get the whatever our producers to pay for that one. But I wish MetLife didn't suck.
I know.
Yeah.
All right. Following that, New Orleans, San Fran, Atlanta. The Commanders, we rule that out. Obviously, we're not going there. Panthers went there last year, never again. I mean, I liked it. I was a big fan of Charlotte, but not going to watch that bad football again. And then the Eagles, which I have been to it's the link, right? Yeah, it is. I don't know why I second guess myself on that. I've been there, but it is week 17. So that could be some meaningful or maybe not so meaningful football. So I feel like that's always risky to plan to go on.
Yeah, I think
you
got the line right there. Ooh.
What'd you say? Sorry.
What date is the Saints game?
Let's see. I feel like that is a good prospect, right? That's
you got the line right there between the Saints 49ers.
Yep. Week 2. Oh my God, I made a mistake. I'm sorry. That's a home game. Eliminate. I told you. I'm going to hold it up for everyone. The Cowboys graphic is very annoying to read. It's the blue. It's bad. So
the Bills is dark blue and light blue. It's completely, you can't even read it.
It's so annoying. So I'm thinking Atlanta. I feel like if we're talking here, I guess I was trying to break down good stadiums versus good quality football. When you go to a away game, what do you value more, in your opinion?
And how do you feel about San Francisco's a fun city to go to. Obviously, it's far away, but that's would you rather go to a game that you feel the Cowboys are going to win, or would you rather go to a game where it's you may walk in there with Cowboys shit on and be leave real sad and with people mad at you?
I feel like when you travel far, my opinion, when you travel far away for a game, you want to see a win.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's stat padding, but I feel like that's I don't know. If I went all the way to San Fran, I've already been there, so I'm not really super thrilled. And I hate the 49ers, so I feel like I would not have a good time sitting there watching the Cowboys get beat by them. The 49ers have become, we talked about this last year. For me, they're going up there. They're almost pretty close to the Eagles in terms of my least favorite teams to watch and play against. So I feel like the Falcons are a safe one. Could be a good football game, too. And, I mean, they might be in quarterback controversy by the time that rolls around. Who knows? We'll see.
Yeah, get to see
Both
Penix.
teams, the Falcons and the quarterbacks. And the Cowboys.
I kind of like that. You can go to Atlanta. You can go to Magic City, get some lemon pepper wings.
They play a nice stadium, too. I've heard people really like it there. So that's my personal.
Mercedes-Benz. It's all luxury. Mm-hmm. There's a Chick-fil-A there, but it won't be open.
Oh, why not? Oh, because it'll be Sunday.
They're not open on Sundays.
It's the stupidest thing they do.
What a flex. What a flex
right?
by Chick-fil-A.
They really are. They're just we're going to do this and we don't care. You're
go
busiest
for the
on
entire
Sundays?
weekend? You'd go for the
Yeah,
entire weekend?
yeah. So for away game, like you make probably like a 3-day, 2 nights, 3 days, probably depending on how much there is to do.
I think that's what you got to do. I think you got to take your top 3 and then start looking to see what's going on in the respective cities and pick
Yeah.
from that. Like we went to a Saints game and it was also during Halloween.
Oh.
So it was
Yeah.
the added thing of the day before, everybody dressing up and going out on Bourbon Street like New Orleans needed any other reason to be fun. But I would say try to see what's going on in the cities.
I think we'll do that. I guess I was more wanting to start like, would you guys rather see a win or go somewhere that's cool? Is basically the main debate of this. Like when you're going to watch your team play, what do you value more?
Go somewhere that's cool.
Probably. Oh, you also have a good team, though. Yeah, I guess either way. It's like I have a bad team where it's like wherever I'm going, I'm probably going to see a loss. So it's like I'd rather go to a cool city. And you have a good team, Mike, where it's like wherever you go, you're probably going to go to a cool city. And I'm back. You'll probably go to a cool city and see a win. So, Sarah, you're kind of in the middle. You know, it's like you can go see a cool city. You might get a win, but also it's like, is it worth it?
Yeah.
Atlanta will be fun. Atlanta will be fun. Or you could go to Pittsburgh. I saw that was instead of the Saints. You got Pittsburgh also. So you want to go see the Yinzers.
I'm not too far.
I've been to that park. They've got a casino right there.
That's so Pittsburgh.
This is like very specific to our Albany listeners, but Pittsburgh is like annoying to get to from here. Like it's a far drive. But flight wise, I don't think like there's direct flights from Albany Airport. So like I'm not going to Pittsburgh and having to like stop in Baltimore. You know what I mean? I feel like that's my limiting factor there. But it'd be a fun place to play. Great fans, I'm sure good atmosphere for a game.
Yeah,
I had a buddy get married. I had a buddy get married in Pittsburgh. We decided to carpool with another very close friend of mine who definitely isn't listening, and it almost broke up our childhood friendship. The highlight of these drives were they only wanted to stop at Cracker Barrels for some reason.
Okay, because they want to buy tchotchkes along with their dinner.
No, it's just like we're getting hungry. Oh, there's a Cracker Barrel here. And I'm like, there's probably some other things there too. 8 hours is too long in a car with don't drive by yourself if you're going to do it. It's a long drive.
Yeah. I feel like past the age of 25, 8 hours in a car with anybody that you're not related to by marriage or just by blood is you can't do it, because it's like you need something thicker than water to keep that relationship apart or together for an 8-hour car ride.
Yeah. And it's 8 hours back. That's the
hungover after a wedding.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Through just the doldrums of central Pennsylvania.
Yeah, that's terrible.
So bad.
Yeah. All right. Not Pittsburgh. Fuck Pittsburgh. You're not going to Pittsburgh.
All right, Atlanta. It's settled.
There you go. Got to touch on the PGA a little bit. It was a fun PGA Championship. Xander Schauffle pulls it out. I think that nobody was expecting. Mike, you had some bets going that were alive at the end.
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah. I had Thagala and Shane Lowry, and they were both in the pairing right before. They were in fourth place or third place. They shit the bed on the exact same hole too. It was very they would cut and then go over to Scottie Scheffler and then cut back, and Thagala's shank. It was fun. It was still a good tournament to watch. Beautiful weather.
Yeah.
Good on the eyes. It was a good on the eyes tournament.
It's good.
They make a lot of Irish jokes at Shane Lowry too. Just saying. I don't know why the Irish are immune to woke culture. But they're you found a shamrock there on that fairway. Yeah. I'm like, whoa. Jesus Christ.
The Irish and the Italians somehow have just avoided all sort of woke culture. Those are just the only people that you can still make fun of. Just you have carte blanche to just say whatever you want about.
It was unbelievable. They were
they're too dumb to pick up any of the jokes.
They were saying that he won a thing, and they're I wonder if he went out and celebrate. Oh, when he shot the 62, so it was the final round, and they're he shot a 62 yesterday. I hope he didn't go out and celebrate like a true Irishman. And then they just cut the commercial, and I was like, whoa, this is. I mean it. I counted 3 or 4. There was an actual shamrock joke, and the comment about him drinking and the luck of the Irish. They're like he was Lucky the Leprechaun out there. They could have called him fat.
Right. It just sounds funny. Like with the people just kind of think, oh, hope you didn't go, have too many Guinnesses. But it's like if you make that joke about literally any other culture, it's like you realize how racist that is.
Yeah.
If
And
you
I'm not
just pick
upset.
any
I
food-
just mean,
no.
open it up.
Let the floodgates loose. We want to start making
Xander is
jokes
a
again.
porn star's name. Why don't people say it more during the broadcast?
They need to.
Why don't we make more pornography puns?
That's what I was thinking this whole time. Is like golf is obviously has this kind of hoity-toity, like very kind of aura about it. Golf names are turning into just like the douchiest, weirdest, like Instagram moms gave their kids these names. Like we got Xanders, Bryson, Brooks, even like I guess Rory's a little kind of like pretentious-y, but it's just like a lot of these names are just they're weird for adults. Definitely not golfers. Xander.
Yeah, hide your dad's girlfriend from Xander.
Definitely, he's a soul patch. That's the guy with the soul patch name.
That joke's for the boys.
Yeah,
Sarah Irma.
we don't want to offend.
When you said Xander pulls it out, I didn't know what. I thought you were going to cut to a clip and we would have to be canceled.
And then I guess you have to talk about old Scottie Scheffler getting arrested, and feels a little like maybe that cop got a little overzealous. But it is pretty funny that he was he made the comment about him doing the stretching in the jail cell. Like pretty hilarious.
We were playing golf while we found that out.
Yeah, we
It
were on the
It
course.
was like, stop what you're doing.
To like a weird like AOL or like whatever. Like I was opening my work computer. When you like open the internet browser and it goes to some weird like news page that is like 90% of the time you're like, is this fake news? I don't know.
Yeah.
And it was like Scottie Scheffler arrested ahead of PGA Tour, and I thought I just like fell to like the scams on the internet. So then I like ignored it because I was like, oh, I'm probably gonna get a virus clicking on this. And then so I didn't click on it, blowing up my work computer. And then I kept seeing it online. And I was like, oh my God. And then of course I felt trapped, which I see everyone saying, like, I totally thought he hit the person, right? Like the way all the articles started, where it was like someone unfortunately was like hit and didn't make it, pass up, and I'm like, and then you hear it's about Scottie Scheffler, so you just assume automatically he was the one who hit the pedestrian, and I'm still confused how it all played out. Like this cop, like did he attach himself to the car, or like do we not know what happened? How did he get dragged by the car?
There's got to be body cam footage, right? Like my guess is like Scottie Scheffler showed up early, and he's used to driving around security all the time around these courses, and he just sees what looks like security, so he starts going around it, and then the cop's like, stop, and probably like gets in the way and is trying to like hold on to the car or something, trying to get him to stop, like freaking out. And I just imagine it's some like misunderstanding on both of their parts.
Yeah.
And a cop tries to stop a car, and obviously somebody got killed. Like that's a big deal. They're trying to whatever they're trying to do. So I think that whole situation probably just really sucks. But clearly, like that didn't affect him. He went out and shot amazing, and then the only thing that can stop him is his caddy not being there.
I blame the Masters.
Oh, let's hear it.
Because like you went on about, like it's their elitist culture that rules don't apply to people who get into Augusta. So Scottie Scheffler just drive right over, please. I'm Scottie Scheffler.
Yeah,
I have a green jacket. Get out of my way, officer. Just saying.
I've been here protecting Augusta on this. I've been here protecting Augusta on this podcast the whole time. I can't believe you would say something. You would besmirch the name of Augusta, Georgia.
I've come around full 180. Definitely want 180 back. The Augusta is the problem.
I'm feeling like I'm not knowing if this is a bit or not, because I'm very shocked by what's happening in your change of tune here.
That's the point of a good bit. You don't know.
No. Oh, and then also my only other take from the PGA Championship, it should be illegal to put Tony Finau and Sahith Theegala in the same group.
Careful how you go into this.
I'm rooting for both of them, but like you had money on one of these guys, and every time they would cut to that group and they're taking shots, they looked the same, they're wearing the same outfit, they were doing everything, and it's just like great shot. It's like, is that the guy I'm rooting for or not? It just seems intentionally misleading. I've never seen them in the same place at the same time. I think they're the same guy.
They really did look the exact same. It was multiple times where I was like, all right, easy, chip and a putt. And then I'm like, wait, that's Tony Finau.
They're the same
shirt.
Same body dimensions. It's like I would bet they're the same height. They had the same length beard. It's just like they did that on purpose.
Yeah, I think they like must have gotten together and I'm sure the producers of the TV were like, "Are you guys seriously both gonna fucking wear that?"
Is this just us becoming old men? Is this what happens? Is this happening right
Yeah.
before our eyes? Like, what are they doing?
Yeah. It's all right. Tony Finau is 6'4".
Sahith?
Coach, watch. We're gonna this is gonna poke a lot of holes.
He's
in
like
my fear.
5'10".
Yeah. He's 6'3". He's 6'3".
Okay. All right. Yeah, it's like they're both really tall, really thin. Both with darker complexion, both had beards, and they were wearing the same color hat, the same shirt, and the same color pants. It's like they were like shades off. One was like a light blue, and then one was like a darkish gray.
Yeah.
It was the same.
It was like one of those like pictures where you have to like spot the differences. You gotta like circle the four things are different.
Yeah.
I just want to watch golf.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like if you're betting on one of them, you'd see the shot, and you're like, yes. You're like, God, that wasn't even who I was rooting for.
I'm still waiting to see if they'll refund me based off of that, but it's not looking good so far.
That'd be really funny if Finau won and you have a legitimate case.
Yeah,
You're like, bet on that guy.
I just want the bets voided because for an entire round, who the hell knows who scored what?
You're like, I'd like to bet on them just because I am racist and mildly ignorant, and the quality of my TV is bad. I can't tell the difference between them.
Yeah, no, we were watching in full HD. It was really crazy. Yeah. It took like 3 or 4 holes for us to be like, wait a minute. And then it's like they would cut from one and then they'd finally cut to the other. I'm like, they're wearing the exact, like, this is the exact same shirt, but like so close.
Right. Yeah. Amazing.
Dumb.
But listen, we got to win some money on the next one. Rory getting a lot of screen time, playing a lot of bad golf. Are you fully out on Rory, Sarah?
I am. I told you guys I was mad after the Masters, and I was like, I don't know if I can keep doing this to myself. And then I saw all these reports that he like filed for divorce or whatever right before leading into the weekend. So I was like, maybe he has like a bounce back. I don't know. Maybe this is some sort of like fueling his fire. So I took him top 5. And he was just really nowhere to be found. Everyone wanted him to be somewhere to be found. Everyone was like, oh, maybe you don't count Rory out. Don't count Rory out. And I'm like, no, I'm sick of it. He's just not the golfer we all want him to be, or we think he is at this point, I think. And it's just a matter of like the media and everyone, the narrative around it, catching up with that.
He could be found near all the water.
Yeah.
Every time they cut to him, he was hitting in the water.
Yeah.
And poor making Rory. That Rory face. Like,
sad little man, sad little rat.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Little Irish rat.
Yeah.
That's what they said on the broadcast, not me.
They called him that.
Yeah.
Now we got a little NBA cleanup to get into. Mike, your Cavs looked good for a game. Convinced you to bet them, and Celtics were just too much.
It was more of a Timberwolves bet than a Cavs bet. Let's be real.
I know what you were looking for.
Any worse.
You just wanted to find the plus sign for the that you deserved for the Timberwolves.
I know. We'll get into that.
But the Celtics were just too much. I mean, I don't think they looked incredibly dominant. There wasn't really like obviously they won the games by a bunch that they did, but like watching the game, I never got the impression that they were just like stepping on their throat. It just basically it was just going out, chipping away, and just doing their thing. They took care of business, and basically my big takeaway is that like if they're gonna pose a real threat, I definitely think Porzingis is super, super important. And then the other thing, I haven't watched much Cavs basketball aside from when they were playing the Knicks throughout the year. That's all I was really spending a lot of time watching Cleveland play. But Evan Mobley was incredible. I am a very, very big Evan Mobley fan. I think he's very good, and I think I might even rather have him on the Knicks than Donovan Mitchell. I don't know about the guard play. I think Brunson's incredible, and Thibodeau has no problem playing him 75 minutes a game, but it's like I think Mobley looked so good, and like he went even with Jared Allen, and then for the last 2 games, Donovan Mitchell out. Like Mobley was able to just take over and still get his shots. So big fan of him. I don't know where they go from that team. I don't know if anybody ever really wants to play in Cleveland, but I hope the Knicks can get better from that. That's all I was hoping for.
I think they're going to fire the coach. That sounds like for sure. I think that's the end of this. Like, I think they're going to break them up.
Just destroy everything.
Mobley being like who they build around.
Yeah.
That's what I would do.
I think Jared Allen's going to go to. Maybe they'll probably keep Darius Garland, but I would I mean, that's if you couldn't win with that, you kind of gotta, with losing Mitchell, like you're not just gonna quickly replace that, and it's Cleveland, so they gotta, Mobley's only like 22, so they have plenty of time.
Yeah, that makes sense. But Celtics move on, still the clear favorites in the East. Thunder Mavs, Sarah, how's Chad doing? Is he okay?
Unwell. He is unwell. He's come around by now, but it was a dramatic end of the series. I think it's super annoying because I feel like Luka just took away from like every piece of enjoyment in this series, especially for me. Like I have had a really hard time watching him. And honestly, yes, I was rooting for OKC and I wanted them to move on because I've come to like them. But I mostly wanted them because I can't watch Luka for another series. Like he has gone next level, I feel like, in terms of just being an absolute whiner. And like the refs tried to establish it early in that game 6, by calling that technical on him. And he continued to be persistent. And like every single time he takes a 3-pointer, he flops to the ground. And then he lands on the ground anytime. And he's doing the little review, for any sort of like flagrant foul. And I can't watch it anymore. I might not even watch any, like very much of this upcoming series. It'll probably be on past my bedtime anyway. So I'm not too worried about that. But I'm so over it. But to get into the Thunder, I mean, I think they showed their inexperience as the series went on. I felt like they came out multiple nights, game 5, game 6. They just looked very tight, nervous, anxious energy. Like they weren't really hitting their shots, or they were getting like very streaky, getting into a good flow. And then they kind of would go cold for a little bit. So I felt like that was just some immaturity there and lack of experience. I think from here, they definitely need to build a little bit in like a center or a strong forward position. I think you put in here, don't sign Kevin Durant. Totally agree, but he's not welcome. We don't need that. We don't need that. They have a really good thing with how they pass the ball right now. Like Shea is, he's a superstar and can take over the games, but they still get a lot of really good ball movement. And I think having someone like KD is going to take away from that. Like if he's feeling, like a black hole every time he gets the ball. I don't want them to get Zach Edey.
Racist.
Not interested. I said black hole. That's a common saying when someone gets the ball and they don't pass it back.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, he's
Pause.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want them to get Edey. Not interested in Edey. Like, can you imagine watching Edey and Chet like in the same paint area? I don't. It's a lot.
It just feels like we were just talking about Mike. We're like, don't sign Durant, don't sign Edey. He's just like, oh, come on, do both.
The 12th pick is in the lottery, correct?
Yep. Well, that's a big thing we
boy.
got going between it. We got to get some more Malort shots on the line for those original listeners. Remember those bets we had?
Let's go
Back there. We got to get that. If
I got
if
drunk
Edey's,
on that podcast.
I know. We got to get that back. Feedy's a lottery
And
pick.
after.
Yes, Sarah, we're gonna have to do that one in person. Sarah, you're gonna have to keep us. You're gonna have to keep us at bay.
Check.
Good luck.
Fair enough. So anyway, I hope they get Donovan Clingan. I don't think it's reasonable. I feel like he might go a little bit earlier than that. He seems to be, his draft stock seems to be rising from what I've seen, but I think that he would be a good asset for them. Like he's like a much stronger center, a little bit stronger under the hoop in terms of rebounding and Chet can shoot. So if they have a strong center in there, they can keep Chet out a little bit, not so much spending a little bit more time like out near 3-point key and stuff. So I think that'd be a good asset for them if they're able to get him.
What is Chet gonna be?
Ugly.
Yeah.
Gonna be.
Oh. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what his ceiling is. Like, will he continue to get better?
What is he? He's not Porzingis.
It depends on if he can put muscle on. Like, can he put on muscle?
No.
I feel like it's physically impossible. Like, he would have by this point, right? Like, somewhere along the way when he was out, the past few years or at Gonzaga, like, someone had to try really hard to put some muscle on him, and he can't. So I feel like that's limiting his ability to be a strong center going forward.
Well, he's put a lot of muscle on his body, and I'm not even making a joke. I mean, you remember what he looked like coming out of high school? Like, he's, like, doubled in size to become paper thin.
Yeah.
But he doesn't move like Porzingis. And he really doesn't, like, he's never going to be like what is this guy? Like, I agree. I see talent. I also, every time he touched the ball in that last game, I felt like he bricked a jump shot.
He did.
I don't know. I mean, I know he's young. He's really young. He's probably 21, 22 or less. But I don't know what the development of this guy is. That's my fear. With a lot of guys, I can see I can see Zach Edey, all seriousness. I can see Wembanyama because of the way he moves. Because when he got drafted, I was like, no way. But then you see him and it's like, okay, I see what he's going to do. He dominate. What? I don't know what Chet's going to, I don't know. I don't see it.
I feel like it's almost exactly what you said. He just got he got cucked by Wembanyama. Like he came in like, look at this freak. He's huge. He can move and he can shoot. And then it's like literally the next year, it's like, here's somebody who's taller, way more talented, moves better, shoots better. Like it's just like Wembanyama is already in this first year. Like I kind of feel like what Chet's peak could be. So it's like, I think he can still obviously be a really good player. He's still super tall and a freak, but I watching him out there, I completely agree that it just doesn't look as natural and his movements don't look as smooth as some of those other guys. And like Giannis is the outlier of a guy who is like, I mean, obviously he's not 7'6" like Wembanyama, but he's like 7 feet tall, right? And able to put on muscle. Yeah. Like that's not, most of these guys are either built like, Edie, Sean Brad, like whatever, just like a big, enormous oaf, or they're like super skinny. It's just physically impossible for muscles that long to like build in size. So it's like he can maybe put on some weight, but I don't know. I don't know how he plays against guys like Miles Turner. I don't know how he plays against guys like Edie coming in. Like if people want to use their force against him, it's like they kind of will. So he's got to learn how to handle that.
Wouldn't you body comp him to Porzingis? Is always what I see when I see Chet. Like I'm like same kind of like shockingly big person who's not like posting up. Like Porzingis gets traded for like, used car parts, and he's awesome. Like when he's healthy, I get that he's injury prone. I've never like Porzingis. Remember when he came his first 2 years on the Knicks? Like he would drive to the hole and like take off. It's like, holy cow. I've never seen that kind of like with Chet. It feels like every time he gets the ball going down, it's like that Daniel Jones run.
Yeah, just falling just because nobody touched him.
Like his feet are like in front of his forehead. Like he's like hyperextending every joint in his legs as he's slowly about to get the ball stolen.
Yeah,
I don't know. It looks like like he just a baby giraffe. He just fell out of his mom and is like running down the court. And like Porzingis is way more coordinated. I don't know. I think with these big guys, it's like, they got to be, the feet got to talk to the brain, and it's too far away for some of them. The nerves don't get there in time.
They're just mutants.
Sarah, you're a doctor. Isn't that how that works?
Checks out. Sounds right. And in the case of Chet, sounds like it's possible for sure.
Just takes
I've been reading medical books.
Takes 3 to 5 business days for any sort of neurological impulse to reach his toes.
Right. He's connected with Riverside like we are. So sometimes it works and sometimes it just blocks out and it doesn't work.
We just gotta hope no one else is connected to the Wi-Fi in his body.
Right.
But that's a lot of Thunder talk. I think the comp I kept making to them is it feels like they're going to be the way that everybody's like, ooh, we got to watch out for the Texans right now. It's just like that young, exciting team that like, really over delivered. Like, obviously, I mean, they were number 1 in the East. Like that's obviously not a surprise, and it's not going to be crazy. But that feels like once this season ends, it feels like that's going to be the popular like 2025 NBA championship pick for everybody. It's like Thunder got a little older. Maybe they make a move or two, get some defense. Chet gets older. Shea gets older, put some muscle on. Maybe make a move for a veteran. That feels like a place that like Jay Crowder is going to go play. I feel like Jay Crowder is always just finds a good team and is like a locker room defense guy. So that's I feel like they'll make a move like that.
They could draft Bronny James. They have enough picks.
Oh, that would be interesting. I don't know. Obviously, he's going to be a role player. Like, I don't know if he's good. That heart thing scares me.
Oh, I'm just saying to get his dad.
I would get LeBron in. I don't want. I thought that was a heavy sigh, Sarah.
No, thank you. I'm
LeBron
no.
Taking his talents to Oklahoma City.
He's too much of a drama queen and like persona out there. They have a good thing going. Like they're selfless in how they care. Like they pass the ball right now. And anyone who's going to like be demanding, whether it's like actually intentionally or involuntarily so, such as a LeBron, like KD, someone like that. Like, I don't think that's going to be good for them right now. They already have like someone who can put up big points in Shea. They don't need someone to come and be their kind of like focal point of the offense in a playmaker or like scorer position, especially if they're going to create tension.
Teach them about different like wine varietals, turn them all into alcoholics.
What if
he
like
blows up the team? Could they call him the Oklahoma City Bomber?
I don't think that name's been taken, has it?
I'm just saying, not since the Oklahoma City Bomber have seen
right.
this type of explosion of
Explosiveness?
it. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Of a cohesive unit.
Oh,
I'm
I'm going to come up with some more
spitballing.
jokes. He's making his Timothy McVeigh to the hole, and he's, yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there.
From
That was just the
McVeigh
first one.
outside.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice. That's good. Good for us. I think that might be the first. We can clip this one. This will go on TikTok. I completely agree with you. Luka is basically making him unwatchable. I loved watching him play, and now it's just like all the complaining is just making him unwatchable. And I don't know why. It's like they do the reviews and stuff in football and stuff, but for some reason, when there's a play, like a relatively meaningless play, especially like in the first quarter, the first half, Halliburton, we'll get to this. Halliburton was driving me fucking crazy with this. And also, it's like as soon as there's some play, and they all turn around and they're doing that, like the U-turn, it's just like, shut up. Stop doing that. You don't need to really, you got called for your first foul and at the end of the first quarter. And like, sure, it may be wrong, but it's like, everybody's like, come on, challenge it. It's like, it's just not worth it. And it just feels like it's obviously still relatively in its infancy of how these challenges work. So everybody just like wants to do it all the time. So I'm hoping it'll like regress to like a reasonable area, but
it won't.
I don't know. It's just so annoying. And all of Luka's complaining is making me like him significantly less because I still love watching like when he's balling, when he's shooting and moving the ball, it's incredible. But maybe Kyrie can find some like sage to burn around him and like calm him down a little bit or something.
Totally. For sure. Kyrie's the answer. That's what I was thinking too.
Kyrie's always been good for emotionally for a team.
Yeah. If you need a glue guy, real glue guy.
But Nuggets Timberwolves, before we get to the Knicks Pacers and I get to let all my feelings out. We asked for 7 games, they gave us 7 games.
Bizarre 7 games.
Felt so weird. They just traded blows and it was just like blowout to blowout to blowout. I feel like as soon as I expected something to happen, the opposite happened. It's like I expected even from the start of it, I expected the Nuggets to come out and win at home. They lose 2 straight games. I'm like, well, maybe the Timberwolves are going to just like be able to cruise through this series, trade back, like they all lose the road games. And especially in Game 7, they were up like 15 at half, and then they just come out and completely shit the bed, miss every single shot, and lose it on their home court. That whole series never made sense to me. I don't know what the Nuggets did.
I went to bed at the half, and like I thought this was because I literally thought it was over. I was like, the Nuggets look dominant. Like they're at home, they're gonna pull away this one. Like the better team ended up winning after this roller coaster of a series. I was so shocked when I woke up the next morning and saw the score of this because it just like didn't seem like it was possible. But I guess it was fitting theme for this entire series. And I'm so curious to see how things go for the Timberwolves. And moving on here against the Mavs. I mean, I think they'll be a little bit more consistent against. I don't think the Mavs, I don't think this is going to be a good matchup for them. I think the Timberwolves will take care of them easily, but I don't know. Their style of play was just craziness. I mean, Anthony Edwards was not playing well in the first half. I mean, it was good to see him come back a little bit from them and they still be able to pull out a win or stay in the game without him. But yeah, it was totally unpredictable.
It was the largest comeback in a Game 7 at halftime ever.
What?
Down 15.
It was crazy. They got hot. Obviously, like the Timberwolves played great. I don't want to discredit that, but it's just the Nuggets just couldn't hit a shot.
Yeah, no doubt. Best defense in the NBA.
They're
rearing
so
its
good.
ugly head.
And Ant is so cool that he's making Cat and Gobert likable. Or like I don't know if he's making them likable, but he's making me root for the team. Like I still think they're annoying, but he's that good.
Did you hear the press conference that they gave after that game?
Which I think I saw some clips. I saw like the one where they were making fun of like the comment. Go on, you tell me. I don't know.
Karl-Anthony Towns said, I've been here 9 years and and then Anthony Edwards was like, man, fuck your 9 years.
Yeah,
we're about this year. And he was like laughing at his face, and Karl-Anthony Towns like doesn't know what to do. You could see how uncomfortable he is because he's like thought he was gonna do like his typical, like rant of like self-effacing? Is that the right word? Well, we'll do yeah, sure. Where he kisses his own ass, basically. And Anthony Edwards is like, fuck your 9 years. It's so funny.
Good. Yeah. It's so funny. So you love that. That's exactly the kind of guy you want to build around. It just seems like he's got the great attitude. Everybody loves him. He's a killer. It's just like, I'm glad he's getting some shine, and I'm rooting for him. I think, I liked Luka before all this complaining. Kyrie, I'm done with. And I'm all in on the Ant train, the Ant-Man. And then also, whatever, I don't know if you saw that all over ESPN. They were posting that Gobert is the only one of the top 15 highest paid players in the NBA left in the playoffs. And I was like, that's crazy. The Gobert is like, I mean, I guess, that was a big move, but that he's top 15. And like, that's just so much money. So I was looking at the top 15, all the usual suspects there. Steph Curry on the top, Durant, LeBron, Jokic, Embiid. Bradley Beal being that high, it's like, okay, that I don't know if Bradley Beal really hits that
contract.
Then they got Giannis, Dame, Kawhi, Paul George, Jimmy Butler, Klay Thompson. No surprises really there. And then Rudy. You guys know the 14th after all those guys. There's a lot of good guys in the NBA. You know who number 14 is?
Oh, I feel like if you gave me like 30 seconds, I could come up with.
I'll let you cook on it. You can ask some questions. I'll give you yes or no's. You get some. We can do a couple questions if you want.
Old or young?
What's old?
I mean, like,
give me the line.
Over 35? Over 33?
Under.
Oh, Ben Simmons?
No. Funny guess, but no.
East or West?
He is currently in the West.
Oh boy,
it's good radio.
Big or small?
Small.
How small?
6 foot.
Just tell me.
Brett Van Vliet.
Oh, he got a lot of money. Wow, that much, huh?
Yeah, he got more than Anthony Davis. He is making over $40 million a year in Houston.
Yeah, the Rockets had some money. They had some cap.
And they wanted to use it. That's kind of how I felt like what I was worried. Obviously, completely opposite, kind of moving into the next series. That was what I was worried about with Jalen Brunson. It's like I felt like he had some really good playoffs with Luka in Dallas 2 years ago, and I thought we're like, oh man, we overpaid for this guy. It's gonna be crazy. I couldn't have been more wrong. So I feel like that contract went completely how not how I thought it, and this Van Vliet one is going how I thought that the Brunson contract would go. But moving on to Knicks Pacers.
I think Gobert, real quick. Yeah. I think Gobert, if he were to retire today, is a Hall of Famer.
Whoa! Why?
4-time Defensive Player of the Year.
I guess you go by that metric of like you can't tell the story of the NBA without him.
I think he's like one of only like 4 players to win it that many times.
Wow.
It's the Hall of Fame. I guess it's just that's why
everybody gets in the Hall of Fame for the NBA too.
Oh, I guess you're right. And again, it's in Springfield. Like, who gives a fuck? Like Springfield, Massachusetts. It feels like it's got a little.
Have you ever been there?
I have been. We would go as for old Jewish summer camp. That would be our one of the trip days. We'd go to the Basketball Hall of Fame.
Just yell at them to turn the air conditioning up.
Yeah, it's so hot in here. Please. My allergies are acting up. Yeah, it's cool. I mean, it's some of it's more interactive. I feel like the baseball one is super it's very enshrouded with history, and it just feels like you're stepping back in time. And that's really cool. The basketball ones are definitely a little more modern, and they have the kind of things where it's they have a bunch of basketball players' hands imprints there, so you can see how big their hands are and their giant feet, and they got games you can play and stuff. It's definitely a lot more catered to kids, and there's fun stuff there. So it feels a little bit less illustrious the way that Canton does with the busts and the way that baseball does with all the history. But it's whatever. It's a fun afternoon, but it definitely feels a little less obviously saying you're a Hall of Famer is one thing, but going there and it's all kind of a game. Yeah, you can take your kid there. You'd have a wonderful time.
I sat at the bar at the NBA Hall of Fame next to Travis Best. You guys remember Travis Best?
No.
NBA player for the Pacers, back Reggie Miller Pacers.
That name drop was the Travis Worst.
Yeah. Big shout out Travis. I said hello. I was like, "Aren't you at Travis Best?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Oh, cool."
Oh, I'm pulling up pictures. Shiniest head in history of the NBA.
It was shiny. It was update still shiny as of 10 years ago when I saw him.
All right. So this is hilarious. His literally his paragraph that Google gives you. Travis Best is an American former professional basketball player who played in the NBA and in Europe. Best was one of the athletes, among other victims, successfully targeted by professional scam artist fraudster Peggy Ann Fulford. So that's pretty bad. If the first thing it's he's a professional athlete who's best known for being scammed by an artist.
Yeah, well,
Yikes.
he was bartending there he was bartending to make a little extra cash. No, I'm just kidding.
You really had me there for a second. He was only 5'11". I'm like, maybe. You gotta be one of 35 people in the world that would have just picked out Travis Best.
Identified him. Yeah.
Yeah, well, the old Pacers Knicks, Travis Best, Jalen Rose, those it was that. I think it was, well, I don't know if it was like Meta World Peace time back then, Ron Artest. It was somewhere between Reggie Miller and like Rick Smits and, well, you know what? We don't need to do the whole history of Travis Best.
Yeah,
There's only 3. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, he played in Indianapolis from 95 to 02.
Yeah, 7 years. That's a lot.
Yeah.
He was a staple bench guy. Probably
yeah.
started.
Oh, shout out Travis Best. We know you're listening. We appreciate it.
Yep. So Rudy Gobert's won it 4 times. Only 3 players in NBA history have won it 4 times. Can you give me the other 2 players? Go.
Michael Jordan.
No, a defensive player of the year 4 times.
Yeah, Michael Jordan never won. He won Defensive Player of the Year a few times. Didn't
Okay,
he?
that's your guess. Sarah, guess.
This is hard. I feel like, in my opinion, no one plays defense in the NBA.
Both. Okay, they're both big guys.
Give 90s.
Tim Duncan.
I'm giving you a hint.
Oh, Dikembe.
Mutombo.
That's an easy one. Should have had that.
The other one had a big afro.
Ben Wallace, Big Ben. With saw him in London.
There we go.
I should have had both of those. I was too caught up, and I was like making sure I wasn't an idiot. Michael Jordan did win Defensive Player of the Year. Looks like I think only for 1 season though, just because he's that fucking good.
But those Ben Wallace, Dikembe Mutombo, Hall of Famers.
That's true. And yeah, and I guess neither of them won a ring, right? Dikembe never did.
Yeah. No, he went to the finals with the Sixers that year with Iverson. That was really good.
Man.
Ben Wallace got a ring. Wait,
No.
Pistons.
You're right. Ben Wallace did get a ring. Yes, but
Yeah.
Dikembe must not have. I guess those guys. It feels weird lumping Gobert in with those 2 guys. Like those 2 guys just seem like.
I agree.
I don't know why. Maybe it's just because like one is history and one's like when we're younger and it seems so much bigger. But it's just like Gobert just seems like an afterthought of like it's. I guess the teams have always been decent. Like when he was on those what are those Jazz teams?
Yeah, the Jazz were good.
They were good. All right.
It's hard to know the good old days when you're in them.
Yeah, maybe maybe you're right.
Mhm.
Maybe you're right.
You think they'll put the microphone that he started COVID-19 with in the Hall of Fame?
Never forget.
Yeah. Hashtag 9/11. Never forget.
Yeah.
Speaking of 9/11, the Knicks absolutely did. Just brutal crumble. It was painful to watch us limp out. Watching that second half of that game was just I couldn't even look at it. It was just injured, battered, bruised. It just felt like we were the guy from Monty Python where it just like kept lopping off limbs and was like, oh, I'm not dead yet. It's only a minor flesh wound. What are we worried about? It's like we can't do this anymore. Like we're just out shoving these guys out there. So it's like realistically, I'm just telling myself like we wouldn't have even stood a chance against the Celtics. I don't even know if we would have been able to like field a legitimate starting 5. I feel like everybody was dead. Jalen's hand is broken. Everybody was dead. We had nothing left. So whatever, get it out of the way. And I think now I'm going to be a Celtics fan for the next 2 weeks because fuck the Pacers.
Oh, I can't believe he broke his hand.
I know.
Did you care?
I was like, I was a few minutes late to the start and I just clicked on like the live box score.
Yeah.
And I saw like everybody was at like 7 or 8 minutes and OG Anunoby was stuck at 5. And I'm like, oh my God, he must have gotten hurt. And I just didn't even watch it. And then like 2 hours later, I looked and I'm like, hey, Brunson broke his hand. I was like, oh my God. I couldn't watch it. I couldn't watch him get beat up anymore. I felt so bad.
Yeah.
Tom Thibodeau, should go to jail for what he did to those guys.
It's like it's like not like he had a bunch of other guys. Like he would literally be having to put out bench players that I don't even know.
Alec Burke was making it rain.
Yeah, he was looking good, but it's like beyond that. It's like when OG goes out and like now Josh Hart's going to need to play 2 positions at the same time. Like, getting Sims out there, getting guys that nobody even knows about that are just like dressing in case literally like someone dies. And I didn't even text you guys this. I kept getting the thought, we were making the joke about me having to give up a kidney or a liver. And then it's like literally game 6, Josh Hart was like holding his side like abdomen. I'm like, oh no, like this is getting way too real. Did we
started vibrating? Yeah.
like did we speak something into existence? City. This is getting a real problem. James Dolan just shows up at my door.
Andrea, who do I know in New York City? NY Presbyterian.
So
your helicopter outside the apartment.
we got to get it to Josh Hart. But I hated the last 2 games so much. I'm just like, we need another piece. And like, I feel like a lot of people this season, because he looked good, a lot of people turned on Julius Randle, and they were like, they turned back. I'm still worried about like Randle when it comes down to crunch time, because like you were talking about black holes on the court. I feel like he's just a ball stopper.
Balls.
He's just a ball stopper. Like, the ball gets to him, and it's just like everybody's clearing out, and like he's not the kind of player I want everybody clearing out for. So I don't know if we just like, he was injured. Who knows? Imagine if he comes back and was added to this team. Like, I just don't think we play the same brand of basketball if Julius Randle is on the court. So I don't think he's the missing piece to like us getting to and through the Eastern Conference Finals.
Julius Randle will not be a Knick next year.
You don't think he's going to lose his job for injury? They're going to trade for him? Or they're going to
trade him?
I hope so. But also, you're saying that real confidently, and it's worrying me that you're saying it real confidently. It feels like one of your tin hat moments, and I'm worried about it.
No, I just think that team went somewhere else without him now.
Yeah.
Like, he's not welcome back. It's the key card trying to get into like, the facility. Like they don't want that guy back after what they were able to do. No, I mean, he's got a tradable contract. It's like what we talked about last week in our fabulous interview. If you haven't listened, tune in with Anand about how every year, players' salaries become more affordable. Julius Randle's big extension next year when the cap goes up is going to be a contract that's like somebody's going to see value in it, and the Knicks there'll be somebody that gets disgruntled and only wants to go to New York City because now the Knicks are a destination again, and he's the contract movable to make that happen. Just wait.
I hope so.
Just wait.
But also, what worried me, you saw the thing that came out like 3 weeks ago where like the players put an anonymous players poll, and like Tibbs was just like the number one coach that they didn't want to play for. Like that. So it's just like, is that, you gotta love it. I think he's got a great basketball mind. He's been around forever. He's coached a ton of successful teams, but it's just like, are these players like, I don't know if these star players want to work that hard. Like, what star player is like
fat.
Yeah, what star player is looking at New York being like, yeah, I mean, I could go live in New York. Like, you see what the city rallies around. I mean, I feel like I need to have like an awareness moment for that's because Sarah, you do this sometimes with Cowboys fans as well. Like, the Knicks fans can kind of be the worst sometimes. Like, obviously, that's like sometimes they're good, but like, at the end when Josh Hart's getting subbed out and we're down 30, like you're giving him a standing ovation and holding on for a minute. It's like, those moments are nice, but sometimes when we win, like those dudes just become insufferable, and it's hilarious to watch. But it's like they're something else. So it's like obviously New York is New York, and if you can win in New York, you will be a king there forever. But it's like,
you know what I think?
What guy's getting paid $40 million?
You can make it there.
80 minutes a game.
If you can make it there, you can make it anywhere, I think.
Holy shit. Did you just come up with that?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah. We should clip that. It's up to you, New York. Jimmy Butler for Julius Randle. Who says no?
Well, how many years is it? How many years are on that? Yeah, I would do that. I don't know what's left on Jimmy Butler's contract. I'd do that in a heartbeat. I'd rather have him for the next 2 years than Randle.
You don't have to pay it. You just let James Dolan pay it. Who says no? Money's no object. Those are probably matching contracts.
I would imagine so. It's like Jimmy Butler is 35. Like, is he gonna? When does he take a step back? Is the only thing that worries me. But I get him on a 1 or 2 year like veteran deal. 100%.
I'm gonna put it in the trade machine. While you guys continue.
While I continue to cry about this, but
Jimmy Butler likes Tom Thibodeau.
They've worked together in the past, and he also is a guy that like
Riley's pissed at Jimmy Butler,
and Jimmy Butler wants to. Jimmy Butler's a guy that doesn't mind playing 42 minutes a game. He's done that before. He always wants to be on the court. Yeah, listen, Sarah, enjoy Julius Randle. But yeah, I refuse to give any props to the Pacers. I get it. They shot 70%. I was going into the second half. They were down, and I was just like, they can't keep doing this. And then they did. I think they ended at 67%. Fuck them. Halliburton's annoying. McConnell, I hate him. Siakam and Turner, I was so fed up with. So I'm officially very, very, I hate the Pacers. And it's all, as soon as you start losing the Pacers, every memory from Reggie Miller, from 2011, that Roy Hibbert, Paul George team, it all just comes flooding back when I see those stupid uniforms, and all of my hate from all of these decades just gets passed along to whoever's wearing those uniforms right now. So I hate them. I'm going to hate them. And maybe they're not as annoying for everybody else, but watching them every time Tyrese Halliburton got called for a foul, he's running over to the coach doing his stupid fucking, called review. Shut up, dude. Shut up. And fucking McConnell screaming his stupid face. It just, I hated him, and I need the Celtics to be my, what do they call it? What was the thing from Game of Thrones where I need the Celtics to be my champion? They're gonna need to fight on behalf of us, and they're gonna need to ruin the Pacers and get them out of here. Who cares? It's Indiana. Stupid. Rant over. Back to happy Sasha.
I'm deep in this trade machine right now.
You're like, how do I get Zach Edey in here?
Yeah.
But as a conference finals preview, I mean, I think the Celtics are heavily, heavily favored against the Pacers. But I mean, the Pacers obviously keep finding ways to win. But I am hammering the Celtics. A little teaser. I'm not going to drop it in the heat check. I'm just going to do it for the people right now. I think it was. I did put a little sprinkle on this, so you can tell me what you think about it. It was. I'll tell you the odds as soon as this loads up. I bet the Celtics to basically the way that they've won these last two series, where it's like, win at home the first game, shit the bed in game 2 at home, and everybody gets worried when the series is tied 1-1, and then the Celtics come in and win 3 straight to knock it out. So you can bet they will let you bet that specific how it's going to go. Boston, Indiana, Boston is plus 1,600. So I like a little sprinkle on that. That's how the first two series have gone. And I think that the Celtics are just much, much better. And Porzingis is, I think, close to coming back. I don't know. Imminent, whatever that means. They just keep finding new words to use regarding his health. But I think they win game 1, lose game 2. Porzingis comes back game 3 after the loss, and I think they win 3 straight.
I think it's fair. I'd say maybe I could see the Pacers winning 2, no more than that.
Yeah.
But I think I like that. I honestly like that game plan. I think it's reasonable, especially game 2. It just feels like a good letdown for the Celtics from there.
That seems to be how this thing keeps happening. Where it's like everybody keeps talking Boston game 2. What's wrong? And then they come out and just take it down.
Yeah.
Mike, what you got?
100%.
I'm okay. Julius Randle, Bogey, Mitchell Robinson, and Jericho Sims go to the Heat for Jay Butt, Duncan Robinson, and Nikola Jovic. Now, I'm still saying this trade failed, but I'm going to do some. But the money's right. The Knicks would acquire $65 million, blah blah blah, and the Heat would acquire $65 million and change. The money is like I'm within $100,000. You can figure that out.
Right.
That's
chump change for these guys. I'm not worried about that.
Who says no?
Probably the Heat, because the Heat are smart and a well-run organization.
Okay.
Check that.
Also, the Knicks would be really without any big men at that point. Well, you got Hartenstein.
Yeah. Which I'd like to see him play. We need another big guy, and I'd like to see him play a little 4. Obviously he can bang down low a little bit. He's strong, but it's use that mid-range floater a little bit, and then him and another big man, nobody's getting an offensive rebound. So
yeah, well, I'm just saying that's a possibility. If it happens, holy cow, whole episode devoted to that.
Be a big fan. And then Mavs
send this tape into ESPN.
Then Mavs T-Wolves. Mike, how you feeling about that series?
Well, everything is telling me I want to bet it 4-0 or 4-1 Timberwolves, because I think the Mavericks role players really outperformed their abilities, and I don't think Derek Lively is going to have the same kind of impact. He was very impactful against the Thunder team that can't get rebounds. It's he's going against 2 really big, strong 7-footers. One of them's got what kind of strength and face. and then they also bring in Naz Reid, who Naz Reid's the tallest 6'10" guy I've ever seen. Because when he moves on the court, I feel like he's 7'2".
Yeah.
I just think they have so much size, so much length, but I'm going to say again, I also think the NBA, you make money by playing the games. And so I imagine there'll be the same kind of foul trouble stuff. I see Timberwolves winning 4-2.
4-2. I like that.
I like that.
I think that's true as well. But also, everybody keeps writing off the Mavs. I kept thinking they're going to lose, and they just keep finding a way. But I think the Timberwolves just took down what everybody was pretty much considering the best team, in the West. So
Yeah.
I think.
I mean, the Timberwolves are starting 4 legitimate all-star level players.
Yeah.
I mean, I know Mike Conley's not the old Mike Conley, but as like how many teams have a point guard that like keeps things under control like Mike Conley?
It's good to have that. You're 100% right.
Yeah.
And you see all these videos that they keep showing on ESPN or that the team keeps sharing. It's like all the dudes on that team, like even after these wins, like after Game 7, like they're in the gym, they finish the game at 10 p.m. or whatever, and then it's like Ant's running stairs and like Gobert's doing squats, like still in his uniform from the game. It's like that's pretty tough. That goes hard.
Tom Thibodeau and put the Knicks in uniform and flew them to Ukraine.
Yeah. Just to go fight.
Just to fight. It doesn't matter what side. They just need to keep working.
You thought this was tough?
Yeah, we're not lifting weights today, fellas.
Now we got
a big cigar.
We got to move into the heat check. I got to say, we were hot last week. Rangers ended up pulling it out on Thursday, plus 140. Did the Thunder win that game, Mike?
No.
Oh. Lou Dort hit those threes.
I'm sorry. That was very like womp womp. Yes, they did actually by 4.5. Yeah.
We're back on a little bit of a winning streak.
Mm-hmm.
So we got to keep it up. So Mike, we got to have your turn around. What are you feeling for these for this week?
First game, Mavs Timberwolves Wednesday night under 207.
Ooh, defensive stand. Huh?
Yeah, well, I mean, a lot of these games, the teams aren't getting only one team's getting over 100 points. I just think they both played like pretty long, pretty grueling series, and I think this will be like a feeling out game. I don't think either team's gonna. I don't do well with over-unders though, people, but there's not a lot of games to bet, not a lot of things to bet, so I'm going under.
I kind of like that because
what could go wrong?
Right, it feels like Dallas is going to need to figure out how to get their shots up with with the defensive presence of Minnesota. So I kind of like that.
Yeah, and they're on the road and they're going to be in Minnesota, so they're not going to get the kind of calls. It's going to be wild in there. I can see it just being a really physical game where Luka's bitching and moaning, and they're just not getting every touch foul that he wants.
Right. Yeah. Gobert has 5 blocks in the first half. Cat's playing good defense. Connolly's locking. Yeah, I like that. Mm-hmm. Sarah, are you on the same game? Or are you going Eastern Conference?
I did. I stuck with the same game. You guys know I'm usually conservative. I'm usually pushing the line the other way. But I went for a little bit more this week with the Timberwolves at minus 5.5. When I did it, the line was minus 4.5. So this is plus 110 odds. I went plus money today. So I just feel like this time, I don't know. I feel like the Timberwolves, I think it's going to be a pretty close game. Maybe nothing getting out of control, no 15-point deficit or anything like that for the Mavs. I feel like they're kind of just going to be in it, but I feel like the Timberwolves are just going to pull away. I don't know. I just have this feeling and 4.5 points, that's to me a really close game because once it gets out of hand with fouls and stuff at the end, I feel like pushing it above 5 points makes sense. I feel like it's going to be a close but not nail biter finish.
Like that a lot.
What would you say the score would be?
Under 207, of course.
Very good.
Yeah,
trick.
I forgot 192, something like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Wait a minute, that's a push.
No, it's not.
Oh wait. Oh. All right. Good night, everybody.
But I don't want to let the people down. I am running it back. Listen, you hit a spin on roulette. You got to leave that coin there and hope it goes twice in a row. I'm running it back. Rangers game 1 money line against Florida. They're at home. I think everybody. I mean, obviously Florida looked really good and just kind of cruised through Boston with relative ease. But I think the Rangers are going to they're going to protect the Mecca because obviously the Knicks could not do so. So we're sticking in New York. Rangers game 1 money line all in.
A little puckhead over here,
That's
huh?
Me.
2 weeks in a row.
Somebody called me that, but I think they pronounced it differently the other day. That was puckhead. Bang. So this week Mike has got the Timberwolves, Mavs under 207. Sarah's taking the T-Wolves minus 5.5 plus money girl this week, and I am taking Rangers money line game 1. So let's win some money. Let's keep the positive vibes going. I think we're all happy. We're running down the end of the NBA. I'm already feeling the lack of games. It's always nice when it's there's 1 or sometimes 2 games every week, and now it's I just went through the first 2 days with no basketball, and it's oh. all right, I'll leave the Yankees on, which is always nice, except for last night when they just blew it in the ninth against the Mariners. But we're not going to talk about that yet. It's still too early to care that much about baseball. But it's just like I'm sad that basketball is going to be away soon, so I need to try to drink it in while we can.
It's one more stage closer to football.
Yeah, listen, the Premier League season starts tomorrow.
Oh.
Yeah. We just got any scoring update on the Tottenham game that's going on right now?
They actually just started the new season already. I say 90 days, I meant 90
Perfect.
hours. New season starts today. So
and it's already a really important game, but they got Big Ange, so we'll be okay. You just give them the keys.
Well, despite what everything that everybody just said, I very much love you guys. This is always wonderful every week. And to the listeners, thank you so much for listening. As always, follow us on Instagram, follow us on TikTok, share with all your friends, watch on YouTube, get to see our beautiful shining faces, like, subscribe, share with your friends. We're trying to make this a big thing. We're having a great time doing it, and let everybody know we're having a good time. And we're going to get more and more interviews coming in for the off season now as sports slow down a little bit. So we love you guys, and we will talk to you next week.